Hey, Steve, Mark Medina, Bay Area News Group. In light of what Raymond just said about Kevin's, in light of what Raymond just said about Kevin Durant's news, what's just the general mood around the team with all that?
The mood of the team
surrounding Kevin's injury.
Around Kevin, well, we're all obviously, disappointed for him, and excited about the win, but concerned for Kevin and disappointed for him. He's been on this incredible playoff run, and I'm proud of our guys for pulling the game out, and we'll see how Kevin's doing tomorrow.
Coach, Logan Murdoch, NBC Sports Bay Area. With Kevin out, we don't know for right now, but if he is out for an extended period of time, how much onus are you looking at Steph going forward in his play?
If Kevin is out, then what you saw in the fourth quarter is what you're going to have to see going forward. We're going to have to find a way, but. Got it done today. I don't know if you're a soccer fan, but Liverpool yesterday came out with just one of the great wins in soccer history. And after the match, their manager Jurgen Klopp said, "I'm, the young kids in Liverpool are probably asleep by now, so I'm just going to go ahead and say it, but our boys are f***ing giants." That's what he said, and. I know how he feels, so I apologize to my mom, who is probably watching, but our guys are f***ing giants. Like, that was an unbelievable victory tonight. What's that? Yes, after dark. I'm a different guy right now. Sorry, Mom.
Front row, right-hand side.
Steve, Nick Friedel, ESPN. Were you able to talk to Kevin?
Yeah.
How is he doing?
He's disappointed, but he's excited for our guys and for our victory. But we'll see. Like I said, we'll see what happens the next couple of days.
Tim Gallick on The Athletic. Steve, when in the moment you see Kevin go out, do you have to fire your guys back up? Was there a moment of, oh my God? Was there a speech given? How do you recalibrate that emotion, or how do you focus that emotion?
Well, it was such a weird game because we played so well in that second quarter, and probably should have gone in at half up 20 or more. We missed a bunch of shots at the end of the second quarter, open threes, and then I made a mistake not getting Draymond out of the game on that last play. He picks up his third foul, and all of a sudden they start the third quarter strong, and it's a game again, and it felt like it was slipping away. So I think our guys just, they've been here so many times. They've been through these battles for the last 5 years, and they got a lot of guts, and they just pulled together and got it done. There's no speech necessary. They knew what they had to do.
Steve, Jason Dumas, Crum for Sports. Kind of piggybacking off that last question, how do you think your guys responded after Kev went out with the injury? And then do you have to adapt how you play, per se, when he leaves the game and he's not coming back?
Well, they responded beautifully. And, yeah, we have to play differently because he's such a huge part of what we do. And I think you saw Steph go into a different mode when Kevin went out. He knew he had to be the offensive fulcrum. He knew things were going to run through him, and he took over that fourth quarter. It wasn't a great night for him until that point, but he was brilliant in the fourth when we absolutely needed it.
Steve, Janie McCauley from AP. When Draymond got the technical and then goes down and hits the three immediately, how big of a sequence was that? And then Clay hit one the next time down.
Right.
That could have been a momentum shift the other way, I guess. Possibly.
Yeah, that was a huge time of the game. Draymond gets the tee and then hits the three and brings the house down, and pretty much summarized Draymond in a nutshell right there. That's who he is. He's an unbelievable competitor. He makes big shots when we need him to, and makes big plays and gets the crowd into it. I thought Clay's three that followed was fantastic, and I believe that came off of another offensive rebound from Kevin. Kevin was the unsung hero tonight. He was tremendous out there, and he made some huge plays for us, including that save in the corner near the end of the game when Clay ended up getting the lay-in to seal the game.
Fourth row, right-hand side.
Steve, Ron Krychek from the San Francisco Chronicle. You kind of alluded to it on Steph, but it seems like strangely out of sorts in the first half, not just missing shots, but not, miss some passes where he wasn't paying attention. What sort of clicked? Was it Kevin's injury, do you think, that kind of got him back to being Steph, or what changed?
Yeah, I think so. I think when Kevin went out, I think Steph just went into a different mindset, and kind of reminded me of 4 or 5 years ago before we had Kevin. We were heavily dependent on Steph generating a lot of our offense back then, and he doesn't have as big of a burden on his shoulders now, but he's fully capable of taking on that burden when necessary, and tonight it was necessary in the fourth quarter.
Far back left-hand side.
Marcus Thompson with The Athletic. Steve, you've shortened the rotation quite a bit for this series. Will fatigue and injuries force you to go deeper than you have the first 5 games?
Yeah, with Kevin out, it changes everything. So we'll have to reconfigure the rotation, and we'll have time to do that on the plane tomorrow with the staff, and we'll figure it out and try to go from there.
Tony Harvey, Sacramento Observer. Coach Kerr, obviously the dynamics changed with Kevin going out the game, but can you talk about like the first quarter where you guys had 14 rebounds, 11 assists? Klay Thompson had 12 points. You came out with force. Was that the force that you was looking for to start the game?
Yeah, we came out like we needed to come out, protecting our home court and taking control of the game early. We had a great first quarter, and that's kind of what you have to do in a series like this. The home team has won every game. You got to protect your home court, and we did that tonight. It started right from the opening tip.
Anthony Sater with The Athletic. I know it's been reported as a calf. There was concern about it possibly being an Achilles at some point. That has 100% been ruled out, though.
Yeah, it's not the Achilles. And, when I walked into the coach's office after the game, the replay of the play was going on. And I thought the same thing because he kind of looked back like he had been kicked or something. I thought... I've seen that before with guys who have hurt their Achilles, and so that was my first question, and I was assured that it's the calf. It's a calf strain and not the Achilles.
Third row, right-hand side.
Joe Morgan, Sporting News. You talked about Draymond a little bit, Coach. When you have an injury like that to KD, one of your best players, how important is it to have a guy like Draymond just from an emotional standpoint?
Well, Draymond is critical to us, whether Kevin is here or not. He's always been our emotional engine. He's the guy who just gets things going. He stirs the pot, and he's just right in the thick of everything, constantly. And we needed every bit of his effort tonight.
Second row, left-hand side.
Hey, Steve, to your point you made after asking about needing the patience and the poise, how did you see Clay use that in his game tonight?
Well, Clay had a phenomenal game. I thought, he was aggressive from the start, and that's what Clay knows. When he has any struggles at all, he's not going to hold back. And so I thought his start was really aggressive and a concerted effort to get himself going, and he had that brilliant first quarter, and that set a tone for us.
Fourth row, left-hand side.
Joe Fonzie, KTVU. Steve, it also felt like you guys cranked up the defense a little bit in the fourth quarter there. Different personality with KD out defensively in the fourth quarter.
Well, we put Looney out there. He's one of our best players. So when you have injuries, you try to put your best players on the floor and figure it out from there. And Andre had to play 33 minutes. We went back to him. We tried to buy him some minutes early in the quarter, and we did. And then he played, I think, the final 8 minutes or so, and did a great job defending James and just trying to, keep the ship moving forward.
You mentioned Looney over here. You mentioned Looney earlier. When he came into the game tonight, obviously he brought a lot of energy, did a lot of good things for you. But now going forward without Kevin, does this mean more minutes for him? And just what does he bring to you guys in general?
He's a really, really smart basketball player. He understands the game just innately. He's in the right place at the right time. You know, he took 2 shots all game, but had a huge impact with the offensive boards. His defense, he made a couple big free throws down the stretch. I think it was coming off an offensive rebound, or no, it was a lob underneath, I guess. But you know, Loon is not a 35, 38-minute guy, so that's don't expect that with Kevin out. But he's going to play a big role.
Coach Kerr, Tony Harvey again, Sack Observer. Game 6 coming up. How do you view this and possibly, closing this game out in Houston?
We'll take a look at the film tomorrow. Prepare on the plane to Houston, and we'll figure it out then. But right now, I don't really have many thoughts on Game 6. I'm, thinking about Kevin and about how gutsy our guys are, and how fortunate I am to coach them, and hopefully we can do enough to win one more game in this series. That's the plan.